Ever wonder why billionaires like Trump and Li Ka-shing keep winning while the rest of us struggle? Here's the brutal truth they don't want you to know. They're not smarter than you. They've just mastered the one skill that quietly extracts money from every interaction. That skill? Negotiation. Drop a comment right now if you've ever felt ripped off in a deal or walked away thinking, I could have gotten more. In today's economy, where jobs are vanishing and startups are failing, most people don't realize they're losing thousands of dollars every month through poor negotiation. And it's not your fault. This is the one skill that's deliberately not taught in schools. I used to be terrible at negotiation. Then I discovered a book that billionaires and presidents keep on their nightstands. Secrets of Power Negotiating by Roger Dawson. The first time I read it, it felt like someone had handed me the cheat codes to life. Suddenly, everything changed. From my salary to my business deals to everyday purchases. Today, I'm going to share the exact techniques that transformed me from a negotiation amateur to someone who consistently gets better deals than 99% of people. These aren't theoretical concepts. These are battle-tested tactics that the ultra-wealthy use daily to build their fortunes. Quick question: what's the biggest purchase you are planning in the next 6 months? Because I guarantee that after this video, you'll save at least 15% on it. The best part? What I'm about to teach you isn't complicated. If you stay until the end, I promise you'll break through your income ceiling and start making deals that heavily favor you, not the other party. But first, let me shatter the biggest myth about negotiation. It has nothing to do with being aggressive or being a smooth talker. The real secret is much more surprising: the 4 levels of negotiation. Before we dive deeper, let me ask you, what level negotiator do you think you are right now? A beginner or a pro? Let's understand the fundamental thinking framework first, before learning specific techniques. We need to master the basics before moving to tactics. There are 4 levels of negotiation. Remember, business people must aim for the highest level. But let's start from the bottom. Level 1, broken negotiation. Simply put, this is when there's nothing left to negotiate. You're taking it to court. At this level, both parties have dropped their masks, nobody is willing to compromise, and cooperation becomes impossible. Using numbers or law is the worst option and will definitely bring negative consequences to both sides. Financial losses, resource waste, or mental damage are just minor issues. Once lawsuits begin, the relationship is over. Even if you win the case, future cooperation becomes impossible and you've made an enemy. The losses could be even greater. Level 2, adversarial game. This means, I win a point, you lose a point. The sum of both sides equals 0. Simply put, if you win, I lose. So I must maximize my own benefits. It may seem successful, but this approach won't take you far because people will only want to do business with you once. You'll only make money from them a single time. Think about it. Have you ever done business with someone who made you feel like you got the raw end of the deal? Would you go back to them? We absolutely shouldn't focus only on immediate benefits. We need to learn how to harvest crops long-term instead of uprooting them. Level 3, win-win negotiation. This means working together and compromising so both parties benefit. Although you don't maximize profits, at least you gain something and can establish long-term cooperation. This is how you build sustainable business. Business people should at least reach this level. Level 4, advantage negotiation. This highest level of negotiation determines whether you can become truly successful. The ultimate state of negotiation is making the other party feel they've won, making them think you're the one taking the loss. Has anyone ever made you feel like you got an amazing deal, only to realize later they actually came out ahead too? That's next-level negotiation. Li Ka-shing is the perfect example at this level, which explains how he could do business on such a large scale and expand so broadly. In every cooperation, he's always ready to earn a little less, giving others a slightly larger share of the profits. He taught his son, when you cooperate with others, if they take 7 parts as reasonable, or even 8 parts, We Li family only needs 6 parts. Do you understand? This is incredibly wise. Think about it. If you do business this way, who wouldn't want to cooperate with you? The power of choice lies in your hands. Each time he develops a project, he can choose the most reliable partners. You must understand that business involves potential failure, and profit sharing is like buying insurance. Though you earn less by spending some money, you ensure the project runs smoothly, increase the chances of success, and reduce startup risks. Moreover, it's about long-term cooperation. Others feel you're trustworthy, so they enjoy doing business with you. This is the highest level of negotiation. Key negotiation techniques. Before learning techniques, we must establish this concept and move toward this goal in all negotiations. Truly skilled negotiators always do this. Now, let's get into the tactics. Secrets of Power Negotiating tells us there are 2 principles we must follow during negotiations. Principle 1. Ask like a lion. Be bold with your requests. Have you ever been shocked at how much someone asked for in a negotiation? Did it make you reconsider your own position? A person's negotiation success largely depends on whether they dare to make requests. This is the most basic quality of negotiation. Actually, many people do this instinctively, especially our amazing mothers. We generally call this action bargaining. I remember when I was little, my mother took me to buy toys. A toy priced at $100 was bargained down to $50 by my mother. I was truly amazed. After that, for a long time, whenever I wanted to buy something, I'd ask my mother to come along because I was afraid of being cheated by store owners. But as I grew up, I discovered it wasn't others trying to cheat me. My mother was the negotiation expert. My negotiation foundation came from my mother. Remember, the conditions we propose must be higher than our actual target. For example, a toy priced at $100. If our goal is to buy it for $50, we can initially offer $30. Look at how Trump applied tariffs and how most countries, including Vietnam, responded when taxed, and you'll understand. Secrets of Power Negotiating points out several benefits to this approach. The other party might immediately agree to our conditions. Don't think that's too much. The toy's production cost might be just $10. We just don't know, and the toy store owner can still make a significant profit. This creates negotiation space. The owner might counter at $60, and after mutual concessions, we can settle at $50. This gives the other party a sense of victory after the negotiation. Creating this feeling is crucial. For example, the toy store owner originally thought we valued the toy at only $30. After negotiation, he sold it for $50, feeling like he made an extra $20, forgetting that the price was initially halved. This happens because once we offered $30, in his mind, he's already recalibrated the toy's value. In other words, we've captured the other party's psychology. For someone without firm principles, they'll no longer feel the item is worth $100. They might even feel their initial price was too high. In reality, we saved half the cost to buy that toy. Let me throw this at you. What's the wildest discount you've ever successfully negotiated? Was it because you started with an ambitiously low offer? However, we also need to remember to implicitly indicate to the counterparty that negotiation is possible, that we can still discuss. Otherwise, they might give up entirely, and we'll have no chance to negotiate. If we reverse the situation, the logic remains similar. Suppose we're the toy store owner with a cost of just $10. We can easily raise the selling price to $100 or higher. Remember that the value of any item is determined by you. How much you feel it's worth is its price. You just need to provide reasonable justification for that price and convince others to believe in the product's value. This is the most essential part. I'll explain more later. So our mothers are negotiation masters, forged through life experience, and we should truly respect them. Principle 2. Never accept the first offer. Secrets of Power Negotiating emphasizes that you should absolutely never accept the first price someone offers. Think about it. When buying a watch, the salesperson quotes $1,000. We think it's expensive and ask, how about $900? If they immediately nod and agree to $900, what will we think? Do we feel like we've made a great deal? Of course not. We'll think, I should have said $800. See? Even though they quickly agreed with us, we don't feel happy. We even feel a bit annoyed. We feel cheated rather than benefited. Has this ever happened to you? You negotiated a price, the other person agreed immediately, and you instantly regretted not asking for more? We might think their initial price wasn't honest, that they were deliberately inflating it. This could make us abandon the purchase altogether. In my own business, I do the same. When customers provide their first quote or proposal, I usually don't consider it immediately because I understand human nature. To be blunt, it's a bit counterintuitive. You have good intentions accepting the counterparty's first price, but sorry, they won't appreciate it. They'll think your product could be even cheaper. So what we need to do is show hesitation, appear surprised, and even raise our product's selling price a bit. This way, customers feel like they've successfully pressured us on price, squeezed every penny from us. Meanwhile, we're actually selling our product at a higher price. This is the pinnacle of negotiation art, selling your product to others while they happily count money for you. Of course, if my customers watch this video, please don't take it personally. This is just an illustration. In the end, we'll still make money together. Quick survey. Do you typically accept first offers or always counter? Let me know in the comments. Additionally, why do we need to appear surprised? Because when you show surprise at the counterparty's price, they will subconsciously lower their price for you. Imagine you're with your boyfriend or girlfriend, window shopping, and you see a gift you want to buy them. The salesperson quotes a price you find quite expensive, but your partner says it's reasonable and acceptable. After that, no matter how you haggle, the seller won't reduce the price because they know you can accept that price. Actually, from the beginning, they don't expect you to accept the first price. If you don't show surprise, they certainly won't have any reason to give you a discount. The most valuable negotiation insight. Now you've learned both methods and skills. Next, I'll share a crucial mindset secret for negotiation, the highest value part of this entire video. This is something I realized during my business career. I haven't even shared this in my company's internal training sessions. Listen carefully. If you understand this, your negotiation ability will rise to a new level, and you'll be able to get what you want through negotiation. Here's a thought experiment for you. What's more important in negotiation? What you actually have, or what others believe you have? Remember that negotiation requires cards, trump cards. But we don't necessarily need to actually possess those cards. We just need to know how to create the illusion of having them. Often, negotiation outcomes are determined before the conversation even begins. If you have what the other party needs, you'll have the initiative in the negotiation. You can set any conditions you want. Therefore, before entering a negotiation, ask yourself, does the counterparty need you, or do you need them? What if you don't have what the counterparty needs? I'll tell you, whether you actually have cards in hand isn't important. What matters is whether others believe you have them. This is pure psychology at work. Have you ever successfully bluffed in a negotiation by making someone believe you had more leverage than you actually did? This is what Zhuge Liang taught us. Everyone has heard of the empty fort strategy, right? When Sima Yi led his army to attack the Shu kingdom, Zhuge Liang knew his forces were weak and couldn't fight directly. He deployed the empty fort strategy, sitting alone on the city wall playing an instrument with the gates wide open. Logically, Sima Yi could have ordered an attack and immediately destroyed the Shu kingdom, but he didn't. In Sima Yi's mind, he always believed Zhuge Liang was cautious and must have set traps throughout the city. Sima Yi feared him and didn't dare take risks, so he retreated. Therefore, I believe the pinnacle of negotiation art is making the counterparty negotiate with their own perception. If others believe you have something, the effect is the same as if you actually have it. This is also why in my previous videos about the law of attraction, I often mentioned that if you want to become wealthy, you must believe you're already wealthy. This works because we're essentially negotiating with our own subconscious. When you make your subconscious believe you're a certain type of person, you'll become that person. Zhuge Liang back then must have also applied the law of attraction. He believed there were millions of soldiers in the city, and as a result, he achieved the same effect as if there really were millions of soldiers. But you must completely believe in it, feel it as natural, and have no doubts. That's right. The universe's law of attraction can be applied to everything. If you're interested, you can also watch my previous videos on this topic, practical negotiation phrases. In fact, many verbal skills in negotiation require our logical thinking. Now, there's no need to beat around the bush. I've summarized several sentence patterns for everyone. When negotiating, just apply these patterns to your speech. Please listen patiently. First, when talking, we need to state our needs first, then propose exchange conditions. Never do it the other way around. Don't show your cards before stating your needs. Let me check. Have you been stating your needs first in negotiations, or have you been showing your hand too early? I have a friend in business who needed to collect remaining debt from a customer, but at that particular time, the customer's business wasn't good, so they couldn't pay. He asked me to go with him because he was also short on cash for circulation, so collecting anything would help. We sat in the customer's office and talked for a while. My friend's eyes never left the customer's watch. He really liked that watch and knew it was quite expensive, so he said to the customer, "The remaining money this time, I won't take it anymore. I know you're also having difficulties, so can you give me that watch to replace the debt?" Can you guess if the customer agreed? Of course not. Do you know where the problem lies? It's in the sentence pattern my friend used. He revealed his trump card first, then stated his needs. The customer knew my friend was willing to give up the debt, so he grasped the weakness. The initiative in the negotiation fell into the customer's hands, and he could set his own conditions. It's very simple. When others clearly know your purpose, why should they agree to your requests? It's like your girlfriend saying, "I agree to marry you, but you have to buy me a diamond ring." Hearing this, you'll think she has already agreed, so whether to buy the ring or not is your decision. Conversely, if she says, "If you buy me a diamond ring, I'll consider marrying you," the feeling will be completely different. This is such a key insight. Can you think of a time when someone revealed their position too early in a negotiation with you, and you used it to your advantage? Therefore, when you want to exchange equally with others, never reveal your cards first. People tend to show their cards first to appear straightforward and honest, not hiding anything. But this only puts you in a passive position in the negotiation. When we returned, I explained this principle to my friend. I told him that if he still couldn't collect the debt next time, he could try a sentence pattern like this. "If you give me the watch, I can consider not collecting the debt this time." Logically speaking, I'm at a disadvantage, but consider it as making friends. Indeed, since my friend started using this sentence pattern, almost every time he's been able to get what he wants from such exchanges. Do you understand now? We must clearly state what we want first, then present our cards, our conditions. When negotiating an equal exchange like this, the success rate will definitely be higher. However, that's still not enough. There's another negotiation thinking principle that can raise the success rate to an even higher level. Here's a mind bender for you. Which do you think is more effective in a negotiation? Threatening someone with what they'll lose, or promising them what they'll gain? If you want to negotiate with others, you must learn to use threat-style sentences, not flattery-style sentences. Because threat-style sentences not only increase success rates in negotiation, but also help us stand in an unbeatable position. First, let's see what a flattery-style sentence is. Very simple. I'll give you an example, and you'll immediately understand. Suppose you tell your child, "If you get 100 points, Mom and Dad will take you to the park." This is a flattery-style sentence. Why do we say so? Look carefully at this sentence pattern. If you do A, I'll give you B. So what about the reverse? If you don't do A, then what? Does it mean you won't get B? Not necessarily. If your child doesn't get 100 points, it doesn't mean you won't take them to the park. Another example, you're haggling with the toy store owner. You say, "If you sell it cheaper, I'll buy this toy. But what if they don't sell it cheaper? Are you sure you won't buy it? In the end, you'll probably still buy it because your child really likes that toy. Are you starting to see the pattern here? Most people don't realize how their sentence structure can put them at a disadvantage in negotiations. So what's a threat-style sentence? Very simple. If you don't do A, I won't give you B. Using the old example, you tell your child, if you don't get 100 points, Mom and Dad won't take you to the park. When your child thinks in reverse, if I get 100 points, will Mom and Dad take me? You can say, we didn't say that. See, the initiative is in your hands. Using this pattern, you can renege without being wrong. Let's look at another example. You tell the toy store owner, if you don't sell it cheaper, I won't buy it. Then if they ask back, if I sell it cheaper, will you buy it? You can completely say, I'm not sure. I just said if you don't lower the price, I won't buy. Do you now see the difference between flattery-style and threat-style sentences? Recently, China has faced tariffs of up to 245% on goods exported to the U.S. due to retaliatory measures. U.S. President Donald Trump announced he would impose an additional 50% tariff on China if Beijing doesn't withdraw its 34% retaliatory tariff. Why didn't Trump say that as long as China doesn't retaliate, the U.S. won't impose additional tariffs? This is high-level negotiation psychology at work. Next time you're in a negotiation, try framing your position using the threat-style sentence structure and see if it works better. However, not every situation allows for threat-style sentences. When the counterparty holds a much larger card and you're already in a weak position, these tricks won't help much. For example, if someone wants to rob or kidnap you, don't be foolish enough to negotiate with them because your life is in their hands. Staying alive is already the most important thing. Don't stupidly think you can negotiate in that situation. Final thoughts on negotiation mastery. I know there are still many people who find negotiation very difficult and complex, even considering giving up on starting a business. Indeed, all skills require practice to become proficient. Additionally, don't think that negotiation is a skill based solely on smooth talking. Actually, the best negotiators aren't good at talking. They're good at listening. Good listening allows you to capture information from the counterparty, thereby preserving your strength. Here's a question to reflect on. Are you a better talker or listener during negotiations? So negotiation is actually an innate skill that everyone has, but the level of that skill determines whether you're rich or poor and whether your life is successful or not. The book Secrets of Power Negotiating is not exaggerating when it says it can completely change your life. The content in this book has real value, guaranteed by several U.S. presidents like Clinton and Trump, who have both highly praised this book. Author Roger Dawson is recognized as one of the world's best negotiators today. Therefore, I recommend everyone, after watching this video, to also read the book Keeping the Upper Hand in Negotiations. Moreover, don't just read it once. I never stop reading books that help me make money. I read until I'm sick of them. Perhaps this is one of the little secrets that helps me earn money. I hope everyone soon earns their first capital and achieves some results. Due to time limitations, I'll end here today. I share free knowledge about becoming wealthy, being an entrepreneur and investor, and achieving financial freedom. If you don't want to miss out, follow my channel, turn on notifications, and share this video widely. I sincerely wish all of you who have liked this video will soon achieve financial freedom. If you found just one or two useful sentences in today's video that help you live better, then I'm already satisfied. Let me know in the comments which negotiation tactic from today's video you plan to try first. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with more wealth tactics. Additional insights for the Western audience. Here are some modern realities about negotiation you might not have considered. In today's digital age, negotiation happens everywhere, in Slack channels, email threads, and even dating apps. The principles remain the same, whether you're negotiating face-to-face or through a screen. Remember that cultural differences matter enormously in negotiation. Western negotiation often values directness, while many Eastern cultures prefer building relationship first. Neither approach is inherently superior. They're just different tools for different contexts. The most valuable negotiation skill in 2025? Patience. In a world of instant gratification, the person willing to wait often wins. This is why billionaires like Warren Buffett build empires. They have extraordinary patience that most lack. And one last thought to ponder. The wealthiest people rarely negotiate over price. They negotiate over structure. When you're buying a house, the interest rate matters more than the purchase price. When you're taking a job, equity structure matters more than salary. Learn to spot where the real value lies.